Iran bet billions on rebuilding Syria. Now it's all gone. Power plants, railways, oil deals abandoned in the dust. Assad's fall was followed by Israeli jets. Now Syria awaits healing and peace. Iran had a grand vision for post-war Syria, with Bashar al-Assad at the helm modeled on the very country it loathes most, the United States. Just as America rebuilt Europe with its Marshall Plan after World War II, Tehran planned to reshape the Middle East by pumping billions into a devastating fight in Syria. A 33-page Iranian strategy document found by Reuters in Iran's looted Damascus embassy openly cites the Marshall Plan's goal: creating economic, political, and socio-cultural dependence. One bullet point reads, a $400 billion opportunity. But that empire-building dream crumbled when rebels toppled Assad in December last year. Iran's diplomats, paramilitary forces, and businesses fled. "I'd set up an office and home in Syria that's gone," said trader Hassan Sarkozy, who lost €16 million worth of vehicle parts at Latakuport. "I'd set up an office and home in Syria that's gone. I hope Iran's long history with Syria isn't just wiped out. I'm now having to look at business elsewhere." Among the abandoned projects, a €411 million power plant, a collapsed rail bridge, and an oil venture in the eastern desert. Iran's total loss is over $30 billion. Former lawmakers claim now Iran's plans lie in ruins, mirroring America's failed nation building in Iraq and Afghanistan. New Syrian President Ahmed al-Shara, whose FDZ-led government has shown no intent to honor Iranian contracts, said the Syrian people have a wound caused by Iran, and we need a lot of time to heal. Iran's foreign ministry spokesman, Esmail Barghouti, insisted in December, "We expect the new Syrian leadership to honor the country's obligations." But with enemies circling and allies crumbling, Iran's Middle East Marshall Plan is little more than rubble. Notably, Iran's grand vision to rebuild Syria ultimately collapsed under the weight of geopolitical rivalry, internal corruption, sanctions, and war. Despite billions spent and deep strategic entrenchment through economic, religious, and military ventures, the fall of Bashar al-Assad and Iran's rushed withdrawal exposed the fragility of its empire-building ambitions. Key projects like power plants and rail infrastructure lay abandoned. Debts remain unpaid, and Iranian influence has been eclipsed by rising palace. What was meant to forge dependence instead became a cautionary tale of overreach as Tehran's investments dissolved amid Syria's shifting political and economic landscape. In a revelation that sent shockwaves through the region, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu dropped a bombshell on April 27, 2025, at a high-profile Jerusalem conference. Netanyahu confirmed what many only speculated: Israeli fighter jets intercepted Iranian aircraft over Syria in 2024, thwarting a desperate Iranian bid to save Bashar al-Assad's collapsing regime. They had to rescue Assad. Netanyahu said bluntly, "We sent F-16s to meet Iranian planes headed for Damascus. They turned back." The dramatic confrontation, never before revealed, occurred just days before Assad was ousted on December 8th by the Islamist-led insurgents. With Hezbollah bleeding in Lebanon and pulling back its forces, Assad stood alone and vulnerable. Israel seized the moment. Then IDF spokesman Daniel Haggerty made it clear, "We will not allow Iranian weapons to reach Hezbollah." The Times of Israel reported, after Assad's fall, Israel deployed troops into the unmonitored buffer zone of the Golan Heights. And as Syria descended into chaos, Israel made its move not just to contain Iran, but to reshape the battlefield. The smuggling routes, once pulsing with weapons, drugs, and cash, are now war-worn. Scars across Syria's fractured frontier. The land bridge, Iran's arterial network, to Hezbollah, is collapsing under the weight of military defeat and regional upheaval in the ashes of Assad's fall. Syrian forces, led by commanders, usually are clashing with entrenched Hezbollah-linked clans desperately clinging to the lifelines that once fed their power. Border towns like El Sayed Ali burn with fresh bloodshed, while Qus's vast munitions warehouses lie gutted by Israeli bombs and panic-stricken retreat, according to a Washington Post report. The Captagon labs, a dock fuel of war economies, now stand abandoned, testament to an alliance unraveling. Hezbollah, reeling from Israeli strikes in Lebanon, scours the shattered countryside for stockpiles before they're buried or bombed. Meanwhile, Iran, its proxy empire, faltering courts, new chaos. It whispers to Sunni extremists, flirts with jihadist rage, and fans coastal fires of sectarian violence. Accusations fly. Proof is scarce, but European officials nod toward Tehran's hand in stirring Syria's fragile pot. According to the report, as the new government under Ahmed al-Shara fights to consolidate control, Syria remains a chessboard of shifting loyalties, covert arms runs, and quiet betrayals. Hezbollah hides Iran plots, and commanders like Zawahiri brace for the next shot in a war that refuses to end.